Welcome, Divas, to another episode of Woman to Woman with Sherry Orius. I am your host, Sherry Orius, and this is my co-host, Catherine Birch. So today, Catherine, we were talking earlier, and I was telling you how I wanted to actually talk about alignment and realigning, and the understanding that just because you get it together and maybe get in alignment, that you do not or you cannot get out, that to get rid of the falseness or the falsehood, that you cannot get out of sync again. That alignment is always something that you're going to be tweaking, maintaining, or fixing, right? So in actuality, it came from a post that I'd sent today in the sisterhood post. And basically, it was just talking about, let's talk about something as spiritual alignment, right? So that being said, what's your take?
I agree that alignment is not just one and done. You never have to readjust. You never have to refine, because you're living life and you're constantly impacted, constantly thinking, constantly exposed. So something's going to throw you off somewhere and stuff. If you're feeling, you're going to need to be realigned and have some recalibration of your mind and your heart and your soul somewhere.
Right. I agree. I think that, even with healing, there is a misbelief that, oh, once I'm healed, it's a one-time thing. I'm good. I shouldn't have to do this. And then when you find yourself either triggered, or you have to reposition yourself, there is this feeling of failure and setback. And I wanted to make sure that the guests knew that just because you find yourself realigning or repositioning or you got triggered, it's not failure. It's like when you have a car, right? We were talking about this. And your car, you have to take it in for yearly, monthly maintenance, get the oil change and everything. And one of the key things that always happen is you have to get those tires rotated, balanced, and your alignment in your car, you have to get it, because if you don't, the car will, number one, even though you're moving forward, it may pull to the right or to the left. It wears your tires down if the alignment is not in precision, in straight. Lord, I can't even find my words today.
Right.
But it will also cause you to burn more gas and cause you more expensive mechanical issues later if left unattended. And that's the same thing with us when it comes to us being aligned. So speaking spiritually, because the spiritual alignment is the base of everything, right? The spiritual alignment can throw you off financially, mentally, emotionally, in every aspect of your life. And you might not even necessarily realize that you're out of alignment or why these things are happening. So when that's going on, what is it that you find that helps you realize that, wait a minute, something's off kilter, something's not, something's got me going to the left or to the right more so than I need to?
Yeah, and actually, that's you bringing that up. Something did happen. I actually posted about it online about me catching myself falling out of alignment. So business wise, I have ADHD.
Okay.
And I'm used to having that mind that the impulses, the hyper focus, the rabbit hole, just shoot and go zip down. I have enough with me that I worked on myself of having all my tools that's going to keep me down and focus and getting my getting my business down the road.
Okay.
Without me jumping.
Mm-hmm.
So that has taken me years
Mm-hmm.
to really teach myself how to not jump here, jump there, jump here, jump there, and not constantly have my business shift. Right. And I'm good. So I had said, this is what I posted about. I've been sitting here saying, I'm going to open my doors, but then I didn't open the doors for the free community because I'm waiting on my soul nurturers to get in and finish setting up, give me what they need to get set up.
Right.
That's what I was telling myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this came to realization for me because here I am. I see this lady that I invited 2 weeks ago post about she can't find a community where people are real and just there and not. And I'm like, that's my community. But how can I say this again? I just invited her and she asked for the link. And I said I was sending it to her 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Then she reminded me, what about the other lady that sent me the link? Right. And I was like, what is going on? And so I realized then I've been telling myself I'm waiting on these other people. And I'm like, where's my disconnect happen? What I mean, am I really waiting on them? And I was like, and so I had to sit back for a second and say, and go and rerun, what have I been doing?
Right.
And then and I realized I'm scrolling more online. I looked at my phone, see my time. I'm scrolling more on time, and I'm getting caught up watching the news.
Oh.
I'm looking at the politics. I'm looking at the world news. I'm looking at the war. And I looking at my text messages, and I started saying, so now I'm going to investigative mode. What have I done with this time that I did not just go and open the room up?
Right.
That people can come in.
Right.
And I have people wanting to come into the space to start, and I'm like, it's because my anxiety about what's going on in the world is swirling up higher and higher. And I'm constantly asking, all right, we got to think about what we're going to do next. I know we got to rise up higher. Well, if what happens if energy get cut off? What happens if this? What? And then I'm just angry at some of the things I'm saying. That is just stirring up faster and faster and faster. And then on my other side saying, I'm waiting for them to get straight. You're waiting for them. And not realize and see it because I'm so caught up emotionally in what I'm doing. It doesn't feel like it. But because I'm saying this thing, it's masking it. Okay. And that's why I said if you have feelings, you gotta come back in line because there's something that's just stuff. So I actually I posted it. Like how everybody else doing, and I had said to my husband, like, how are you doing? Right. Because I'm clearly not okay. My anxiety is stirring, and it's because it's something so much bigger beyond my control. Right. I'm trying to control something, and I realize safety. Right. I just got pushed back into a position of feeling. I said, I'm going to teach people how to do this. I just got pushed back in a position that I won't open the door because of safety, of the uncertainty of what this world is going to be. Oh. I'm out of alignment. I'm not trusting provision anymore. Right then, when I talk about it to other people, I'm in the middle of not doing it right then. Right. That's how quick it happens.
And I did see your post today because I shared it on the Women's to Women group. Yeah. So let's go deeper then. Okay. We're talking about spiritual alignment.
Before you get too deep.
So we talked about we're talking about spiritual alignment and sometimes how we drift without even realizing it, like you said. But what I really want to unpack in this is being out of spiritual alignment doesn't mean or doesn't just affect your spirit. Like we said before, it affects you financially. It affects you mentally. It affects you emotionally. And then when you're realizing that, the steps what if you don't know the steps that you need to take? What if, let's say, in the state that you are, like how you said that you're not trusting provision. What do you do to ground yourself and start to reposition?
I'm trying to think of how to answer that because I first think about the person who don't know what to do.
Okay.
Like, because you can't catch it. You're in the midst of it. You're going through the thought, and there's a lot of stuff, like you said, monetarily wise. If I did not catch myself, I probably would have kept sitting there waiting on that door, not opening it. Okay. And if something what else came in and probably made another excuse because there's a safety issue. I didn't feel safe somewhere, and I'm not addressing the safety problem. The safety concern my body is not.
So feeling. When you're saying safety, what part of that was not feeling safe for you?
The uncertainty, I think, throws a lot more people off faster than anything else. Uncertainty of what's going, because we all want to control. Like when you're driving a car, if you hit black ice and whatever, that sense of overcorrecting is because of control. You're trying to outmaneuver something you feel like you lost control over.
Right.
So we do it naturally, trying to control something that we don't know what's about to happen and stuff. And we're not thinking about the proper ways to do it. We're not thinking about the skill behind doing it. Like you're in the midst of it. You're not thinking, oh, just go in it, turn in it. No, turn the other way. You're like, sorry.
No, that's perfect. That is perfect.
So that is what happens when that safety, when we're not safe and the decision being made, I'm not going to go the way I need to be going. I'm going to constantly find my brain is automatically filling in the answers like, don't go that way. Right. Don't do that. Even though it's already been provided for me to go that way. The pathway is already open. I should trust.
Right.
Don't worry about that stuff down the road. Like this.
I love your accent.
Yeah, so that
so the fear of the unknown.
The unknown. It's throwing me off. And and you stay in it. I broke my rule. My rule was get online, talk about the business, get out. I got online, started seeing the Pratner, seeing the meteorites, seeing the cycles. Y'all need to get out now. I'm like, oh.
So, but in all honesty, with you being online scrolling and looking at the politics and the war, I would say that does still fit within your realm because all of that affects finances.
It does. I honestly see, like when the lady said she was a psychic and stuff. She said, I see what's happening. You need to leave the country by May, right? You have to leave. You're not going to be safe here. And the people's response is, this is tone deaf because some of us can't leave. And then that's the conversation. And now I see people going to this lady saying, what do I do if I can't leave? And then I'm looking at her answer, and this is agitating me at this point. She tells one person, she said, what you need to do if you want to leave, if the spirit is telling you to leave, listen to that spirit, even if it means taking out a loan, because you're not going to be paying it back. What?
Okay.
What?
So you're not going to be paying it back.
Where's she supposed to go? My thoughts is that blew my mind. I said, that ain't. I'm sure the spirit ain't tell you to tell her that part.
Right.
You know, you was right. And so I'm seeing the panic.
Okay.
Ensuing. Whereas I'm dealing with the stress of, oh, okay, I'm trying to anticipate how to prepare, and because I can't fully wrap my head what to expect.
Right.
And I'm also grappling with the fact that guys that do this.
Right.
I need you to go this. And like, how am I supposed to do this when this is happening? Right.
Right.
I'm in that prep stage, but I see these other people panicking.
Okay.
And the panic stage, they're still dealing with uncertainty too. But now it's a whole nother level that someone's telling you, you need to leave. Now they got urgency. Now they're asking how I'm supposed to leave, what I'm supposed to do. And then here comes people. Stop, pal. You want to get your weapons. You want to get this. And they're listing out all the emergency stuff. Get your backpack, get all your stuff lined up. And the people, but I don't have this. I don't have that. And now they're stuck in this.
Right. And so it's almost like they're on the hamster wheel.
Yeah. They're on this hamster, and their emotions on the stay high. And their decision about money is going to be impacted. They're going to, and everyone is so different how they're handling. Either someone's going to go out there stressy. Someone's gonna be buying up a bunch of stuff.
That's true.
So, like it looks different on every single person. That their stressors means looking different. Some people will end up like just be binge watching TV and don't move, end up not going to work.
So
you
kind
lose
of like
money.
a deer caught in the headlight.
Yeah, everybody's response going to look different. Now that I'm watching this unfold, like these people freaking out and stuff. And I'm looking at the psychic of like, you are causing more chaos than actually help. And then I see her the next day say to them, I'm seeing how a lot of people are, and the spirits are telling me there are people who can't leave. Yeah, the spirit's telling you, saw the comments. And then she says, if you can't leave, it's because the spirits are telling you to stay. Oh, no, that's a good thing. So now trust and believe that the spirits are going to take care of you. That is so different than what you said yesterday.
Right.
And now you got people responding, but I don't want to stay here. Okay, you got them up in the swirl. How are they supposed to come down?
Yeah.
So and they're looking for, if you can't tell someone to breathe to find alignment. When you're in that state, then you too wild up.
Right.
You can't tell someone, calm down. It's gonna be okay, because how is everything's falling apart? How are we okay? Like, yeah, like
that part. That part. So you have people staying, like you said, in survival mode.
Yeah.
Constantly chasing instead of being in a place of intentional flow.
Right.
So for me, I know when I'm off kilter spiritually, it's like there's a blockage. You know, for lack of better, I'm trying to think of a good example without versus the one that I had. But it's almost like,
we want to hear that one.
It's like when if everyone's that have experienced constipation.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, well, that's why I said. But it's a good one because you sit there, you have the sense and the urgency, you have the feel that you have to go. But no matter what you do, you can't go. There's a blockage.
I'm trying to stay with you on this one, but I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said nothing.
The point is, it's a blockage. It's like,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay. You feel that something has to happen.
Something has to happen, but you don't know what. You feel stuck and you feel like nothing's coming. You're not receiving. Right. You can't hear. You can't. And what you are hearing, you're not trusting, like you said.
Right. And you said that the survival, our body don't know.
Right.
Our body, our brain don't know. We know what we saying to ourselves.
Right.
But survival, still, as how the body reacts, is the same. The difference is that the more bigger it feels, the more threat it feels to our peace and our time and our money and our energy, the more it seems grander and more intense. The pain seems like it'll be, the less connection you have. Right. Because you're not in tune to what's happening.
Now you're distracted.
Yeah. It's just too much noise going on. Yeah. And you can't, everything is, your brain's like, what is this? What about that? What is this? It's just constantly like this. And you got to get it to slow down. Yeah. And how do you get it to slow down? It's where some people get attitude. What do you mean calm down? And stuff. Yeah, because you become easily triggered. But the thing about it is, that's where I find meditation. And I know a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to meditate. And to be honest with you, meditation is really just sitting in peace and calm. Meditation. Yeah, prayer is meditation. But it's just sitting there in the quiet and stilling your mind, like just finding a way to, breathing helps a lot, but just to bring it down and to just relax in the moment, in the calm, in the quiet, and then take that moment. And then you start to open up those different chakras and those different pathways to being able to now reconnect
So now you're able to have that discernment. Okay, this is coming down, or you're receiving this, and you're able to now actually effectively ask yourself, is this me panicking, or is this really what's coming from God?
Yeah, I think it's easy for us to see misalignment when we're in that state, when something's not right, when something's off in the society, when our relationship's off, when it's like the pain of it is more intense, and we can name the situation, we can name the problem, we can explain, this is the pain I'm gonna feel, or this is the pain I don't want to feel.
Right.
Like we know it, that like I need to get in alignment and I need to know how to do this. But it's when we are in this state of feeling like, okay, I see a divide online, right? There are people who are freaking out, and then there's people who like, I told you, I don't know what y'all paying about. That's y'all, right? I'm cool over here. I got mine, right? Those people who are more cool,
right,
who aren't panicking, they're not worried about it or whatever else that they're saying. They're because they're saying they cool, they don't think that they're out of alignment. I got everything covered. How can you tell someone there, no, you probably still got some misalignment that need work on?
Right. Well,
if they don't think that there is an issue.
And that is the hard part, when everything seems to be going smooth and, like you said, going in a manner which you feel as though you got everything worked out, right? That's when constant self-evaluation. Because as we were talking earlier, you may be okay in alignment over here, and you may have this going on and it's flowing like a river. But then what about over here in this area of your life? And it's like you said before, now you're compartmentalizing, and now you're saying, well, because this is okay, everything else is okay. And that's not the truth. Because eventually what's going to happen is that monkey wrench over here is going to mess up the nut and throw it over here. And what you got flowing is going to get backed up. If I'm using
no, you're right, because it made me think of a story. One monkey too many. One monkey too many on his bike. So yeah, you're right, because like when we talk about scarcity mindsets, poverty mindset, poor mindset, talk about limiting beliefs, and if you talk about in terms of money, generally what happens is that they put it just on money. If you feel that I'm abundant, I'm getting my money, it's flowing in, I got my job, I got my business, you're not going to be usually, I'm cool here, I'm aligned here.
Right.
But then you're not dealing with or talking about, oh, wow, I have, I'm on the outs with my older child.
Right.
Well, there's something
There's
here,
a misalignment right there. Yeah.
There's feelings here. There's something going on there. And whatever that is, you can say it's not having an impact on it.
But it is.
But you're human. You got emotion. It's rippling somewhere through something. And we don't, because I think what I've seen, because I see this a lot where I have had intimate conversations with people, and on the surface it looks great.
Right.
But then when you sit down and really talk to them and they share their stories, is, oh, okay. So this looks great, but then you got all this backed up stuff going on in the family.
Right.
And the family infighting over the house, over who's in the nursing home, and the caretaking there, and legal issue, all that's swirling in the background. And so your business looks good because you have checked out back here on personal wise, all this disarray,
right,
and threw yourself into your business.
Right.
Well, now there's an imbalance here because you're stressed out and you're poor. Yeah, the business is doing great. And people can see the business doing great. Everything's doing great. But back here, what's happening at home? What's happening with the money back here?
So your business is now your escape.
Yeah.
And you're like you said, you're not tending to home, and so the home is falling apart, which a lot of people, especially successful people, tend to do. And I remember listening to an interview by Will Smith.
Right.
And he was saying how he was looking at the fact that his entire family, they had it going on. At least that's the way it looked. He was being successful. Jada was successful. The kids were now doing their thing and they were successful. And, they looked good in public. But the family was actually crumbling because it wasn't working for them. Jada said that she went through 40 days of crying.
Mm-hmm.
On her first, when she turned 40, she went through 40 days and 40 nights of crying. And Willow released that hit song.
Mm-hmm.
And her career was starting to take off musically. And it's not what she wanted to do. And her dad was pretty much like, well, this is what you're going to do. Da, 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 da. So she cut her hair. That's why she cut her hair.
Mm-hmm.
So they had their own ways of rebellion or rebelling, but they looked good. And Will said he did not realize that they were looking good in public, being successful, but as a unit, family unit, they were actually not doing so good. And they had to take that time to reheal and get everything, back in place and back in alignment, and where they can function together as a family unit, not just on screen, but in real life. And that does happen a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when we see that the family is suffering, going down, spinning out of control. It is easier to go to option B versus stay there. So for alignment, when it comes to trying to will that back in, for me, what I would suggest to a person, number one, you got to actually you have to do that self-analysis. Check in with yourself, do self-inventory. Where am I? Get in that mirror. Where am I not? Mm-hmm. Address those different sections of your life, even the cubby holes, because we're good with hiding those little cubby holes. It might be, like you said when we talked earlier, something from your past, something very minute, but it's starting to rear its head because we never dealt with it in the past. And now it's actually starting to throw everything else off kilter. And having that prayer life, I'm not trying to push faith, religion, or anything on anyone, but having that prayer life, being able to sit down and talk it out with yourself and be honest with yourself. That's the
honest part.
Yeah, that's the key, being honest with yourself. Because you can sit there, look in the mirror and say, I'm good, and oh yeah, and this, oh, I didn't like this, but then you're not speaking to the full degree of maybe someone said something or someone did something that rubbed you a little deeper than what you're willing to admit. And you're brushing it off and trying to make it seem like that it's really nothing.
No, you at that moment in time, not saying you have to say it to the person, you can rehearse it.
Right.
You got to let all that feeling come forward. You don't have to chase the feeling. You don't have to get more angry, go with the anger. You can just say, I'm angry, and then let it all out, write it out, text it out, do a voicemail, be raw, unfiltered, because we need that emotion.
You do.
You have to. And that will mess you up, because I said it in my book that one of my opening lines is that whatever we reach for first is whatever stops the feeling.
Right.
Whatever we reach for first.
Your pacifier.
Yeah. And so if whatever you're about to do, even if it comes like, oh, I got rubbed the wrong way, I'm gonna cuss them out. Your first reach is to cuss them out. That's the first reach, because you gotta stop that discomfort you're feeling because it hit something. Right. Or to spin something, to go, whatever it is that you choose, to go underneath the covers, to scroll.
Right.
It don't matter what you chose to do.
Right.
You're not letting the feeling.
Well, one is because it's the ego.
Right.
So being able to honestly suppress, and I'm not going to say suppress, because the ego has good and bad attributes to it. But being able to be friends with your ego in the way that it benefits you, not that it hurts you. Like you said, our first reason to want to go to cuss them out is because your ego's bruised. You got to get back. And can't nobody talk to me like that. Versus I can't look like a chump or I can't look like a simp. Versus being able to, as you said, okay, let me go deal with this emotion. I'm angry. Why am I angry? Address it. And then when you get to a space, you're able to possibly have the conversation. And now the ego is still getting justified because you're addressing it. You're not letting it go. You're not feeling like a simp. But you're able to address it in a manner where it's productive.
Right. And that's where it comes back to, because and why it's really important when you did the order. The spirit started first.
Right.
Spirit, financial, mental, emotion, and mental, right?
Right.
The spirit is the one that is that guiding alignment.
Right. That's your ground.
You got your ego, you got your spirit says reminding you are not separated from God.
Right.
And it is constantly there to show you, right, you're going that way too far.
Right.
So if the ego's like, I had to get back, and then the spirit's like, no. I need you to be aligned and trust.
Right.
You are not separated, because the only reason we want to go and do that is because we have this sense that if he ain't here no more, God ain't with us no more. Now it's just me. Now we're gonna handle this
right
toe to toe.
But that's what, because like I said, that's where the ego comes in and puffs up. So and like you said, yes, because the spirit is that foundation, it's the grounding for us. And when we get beside ourselves or get full of ourselves, we do tend to let go of that foundation.
It's really important to and this is what has helped me a lot, because is getting in practice of recognizing what are your normal responses to triggers.
Okay.
Because had I not been already doing this exercise of what I would call tilts, right? Mm-hmm. I could see my tilt behavior of going this way, going that way. And that's these are patterns. But I'm looking at this, I've done this too many times. I'm feeling really passive here. And I'm not making the moves like I should be moved at this moment in time where it should be bigger moves. I can look at that as a behavior and as a judgment of me, but then I can also take another step back. What's going on emotionally? What is it I'm not addressing? And that's giving me space to think about it.
Okay.
But I've gotten used to calling it like that.
Right.
But when you're in the moment, when you're just excitement, when you're going, you can feel good about life and feel excited about something and still fall out of alignment.
Well, yeah.
It could take over.
You can. And again, that goes back to saying that alignment is something that you're going to constantly, you're going to constantly maintain. It's not a one fixed thing. It's something that you're going to get in alignment, and then you're going to get out of alignment. Might not be in the same area.
Right.
It might be somewhere else. And it might be the same area.
Right.
It's not failure. It's just, okay, I have to work. I have to see what it is, what threw me off, and then get myself regrounded, you know. And that's where, for me, prayer, and we talked about this in the last episode when you were saying how you use the Lord's Prayer. I love that. I really love that. But yeah, just sitting there and even having a conversation, having that conversation with God to let him know I'm not okay. Something's not right. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but I need you to show me where I'm not in sync with you.
Yep. Sure. I do this. I want to know how you do it. I'll share mine. When I get to those moments where I feel something's off and I can't quite name it, before I go to bed, I lay down with that meditation of show me my dreams. Because when I'm asleep, I'm not fighting anything. My brain is whatever it may be. Lord, give it to me in my dreams. By the next morning I wake up, got the answer. Thank you, Lord. I see it. I'm going to work on it today. I see the homework. I'm going to work on it. It's going to bet on it today. I'm going to work on it. I do it right before bed because there's nothing there. I'm not putting up resistance when I'm asleep.
I don't put up resistance, but I find myself when I'm when I'm not in sync and I pray about it, God likes to wake me up.
Ooh.
Girl. So I can't
I
tell
don't
you
know
how,
when you go to sleep to wake up.
listen. So I'll go to sleep. And next thing I know, and it's always around 3, 4 o'clock.
When you going to sleep at too? How you waking up at 3 or 4?
Yeah, sometimes I do. But when I have something really, really, when I don't feel, or I feel that I'm out of alignment and I don't know what it is, and I will pray. I'm constantly,
Yeah.
God, show me. He has this knack for, I'll be sleeping soundly. Number one, he does come to me in my dreams. He shows me different things in my dreams, and it's like there's that point where he says, "Now wake up," and I'll get up and I'm like, "God, what? Okay." I remember there was this situation where I had offended someone, and I didn't think it was an offense, and it wasn't intentional, but I have to say, God talked to he. Girl, he rode my back. I ain't gonna say he talked to me. He rode me for about a week or two straight, telling me that I offended that person. And I was like, no, but that wasn't. I'm sitting there fighting. I'm like, no, I didn't. I wasn't. It wasn't intentional. They should know. Blah blah. Coming up with all the reasons. Finally, when he drove it home for me, I went to sleep, and he replayed it in my dream. And like you said, and he showed me. He did show me. And I woke up, he said, now this is what you're going to go do. And I was like, I got to do all that.
There you go.
I can tell you, I was not in agreement with that. I was like, I got to go do all that for real. Really?
Uh-huh.
So that was the next chapter, the next night when he got on me, because I was like, I had to make a public apology, and then I had to go to that person.
How did it feel when you started moving in that direction? Did you still keep feeling the resistance?
No. I honestly felt a lot better, because it was more or less something heavy was just weighing on me. My mind was not at peace, because he just let it loop and loop, and he put it on loop, replay. And I was like, so it stayed there, and it kept going over, and I kept saying, at first I could not see the offense. I was like, whoa, it wasn't intentional. If I did, and the person should know. And then finally, it was like when I said, okay, because he wasn't giving me peace from it. And then when I finally went and I did the first step, I felt a little better. I was like, okay, now I looked forward to seeing the person so I could do the other step.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the other step, and I was like, once it was done, I was like, oof. I could breathe. I could sleep.
Your body don't lie.
Oh, I know.
In alignment, it feels like that release. It doesn't mean everything's fixed. It means that
was fixed.
Particular thing, that particular pathway was straightened up for you to walk forward.
Yeah.
There's no block there. And our body carries that. It feels it.
Yeah.
And to feel the release, you know the difference.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, when you're saying we have to do this scanning through our lives, there's like people have to choose what's going to work for them. When you say do the scanning in my life, I automatically think about the armor of God and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking of those things as I like to have something for me to make sure I hit different spots and do that scan. Like, is there anything in my life that I'm not actually wearing this helmet right?
Right.
Is there a part where I'm sort of just winging it through?
Right.
Or is there a particular person that I'm like, I gotta take my sword and a little bit,
right?
Because I'm feeling a little petty. Like, is there anywhere in them doing those type of scans? Because if there is, and you cannot, all honesty, say, I feel at ease about this. I feel like I feel abundant in this space.
Right. So let me ask you this. So let's say you have a situation that happens to you, and it's not so much of ego, but let's say there's some pain there, something that happened. And now you're trying to deal with that pain, and it's knocked you out of alignment because again, it's on you. You don't have peace. And besides praying about it, how do you handle that?
There's, I think it depends on how, like I said, I have a toolbox of different things.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what that thing is that I'm dealing with. One thing I still struggle with is because of my upbringing as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Is sometimes as a mom, I find my ADHD even being impulsive and my emotions run from 0 to 100. Sometimes if I'm triggered and overwhelmed and stuff, that overstimulated, me having an ADHD autistic child who can screech like a hawk in the house just randomly, and it's just like, I can't. And I say something out of my mouth that I can see she's stunned, and I'm like, for that thing, I go into a spiral after that, because this is a very difficult part for me to. I'm trying to do the best I can,
right,
and stuff, and I'll go into a negative narrative, like I'm a bad mom, and but how did I do that to my baby? I know how to go back and repair it. I'm thinking I'm damaging her and hurting her. That part, I have to go to prayer.
Okay.
I have to go somewhere in nature, feel fully connected to him, something that I know there is a God. You bring me something back that I know that only he could have done. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. So nature usually does that for me. I have to go and pray for things like that. But if it's something like something at work, something that the relationship is more distant, the emotional impact is more distant, it's something I really could let go. I'm just holding it and stuff, and it's more recent.
Right.
Then that takes something else. It might just be me saying that I had a bad conversation with him, and I didn't like the way she said something. It could have been something else that day. I don't know, but I could have felt that this person. I feel like she was kind of coming at me sideways,
right?
And so, because I don't like that, I think I'm just going to cut her off and not even think about it. I have to slow down and say, wait a minute, like I'm feeling this particular way. Right. Let me step away. And I have like rocks, I have stones, I have peppermint, I have like all these different tools based off of the degree of the emotional response I'm having.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
Okay. That makes sense.
I loaded up my toolbox. Like, I have so many different ones.
Right. And I get what you're saying, because my first response to anything where I might feel an offense has occurred against me is I go assess me. I used to not be that way. I used to just, but in my growth, I assess me first. And the first thing I ask myself is, what's going on with you? Are you okay? So, because you can have something going on that you're not aware of, and the slightest thing can make you feel offended. So first, I do that scan. What's going on? Is there anything here? This. And then I assess the fact that, okay, hold up. Was this something that wasn't, did I take it wrong? Did I take it right? You know? And like you said, grounding, yes, grounding is so important when you go and you tune yourself with nature and God and whatever it is that actually reconnects you to him. But, and then after I do my assessment, then I do my feed the need. And my feed the need is basically, is it whatever happened, is it something that's necessary for me to even address? You know? Is it going to edify the person? Like, how can I address it? Or whatever the situation is, how can I address this situation to bring edification to it that's the right word, but to edify it versus to make it worse.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Right. And then how can I use it to encourage not only whoever, but myself? Right. And then is it going to dignify? So that's that whole thing that feed the need is I go down that list. And if I can't come up with a positive nowhere on that list, I have to wipe my hands of it.
Yeah. You know? I have my steps too. Is rise now. Mm-hmm. Is recognize how you feel, your emotions and sensations in your body, identifying what's happening, like what's the problem going on, but and then say how you feel, like raw, but also say the truth of the matter, like and then expand on it. When you're up there trying to figure out your scanning, try to figure out, well, where am I? What's going on? What's my responsibility? Am I taking this wrong? Like you're expanding the what's happening here so that you can get to the root of this.
Right.
And there's the part when I go into the now part. The end is neutralized because when we're going through thinking about the thoughts, thinking about next move or whatever else, our emotions can swirl right back up.
They can.
And neutralize means the ground. And you ground before you started. And when you're doing a body, because when you do your body evaluation, you need to be grounded on something.
You do
to calm down and to even just do that much. But you need to neutralize those new emotions just bubble up,
right?
So that you can, which is it's the offload. Offload is to start figuring out what am I actually not going to be doing at all right now,
right?
And why. And I'm not going to do it just because of this, whatever the reasons are. And you're setting those, this is where your boundaries are being cultivated in this moment.
Right.
Like you're setting boundaries for yourself in that offload.
Right.
And that's honoring you, what works for you, honoring the type of relationship you're in. Hey, this is a professional relationship. What do I want out of this before I get hot-headed or whatever else?
Tell me.
And then that work part is the micro step. It does not have to be anything big.
Right.
It could just be one tiny thing
at a time.
Oh, and like, you know what? I'm going to write the draft message to the person, or I'm going to call somebody about this because I'm still feeling like I can't come up with the right words right now to say to someone.
Sure.
Or to deal with it. So I gotta go get someone. And so that's like for me for finances, that's really important. That sometimes it's not, so you don't need someone to tell you what to do. You just need to offload, and you don't always have someone to offload. I have buddy sessions that come in, I'm available, offload, and just get it out.
Right.
I'm not there to fix nothing. I'm just here to be present.
Okay, so you're just a sounding board for them.
That's it. I'm just buddy sessions, so just being available.
Right. So what are some, I know for me, some of the baby steps. Again, like I said, my initial go-to is always to just have that open conversation. So like for me, I know people think I'm crazy sometimes when they see me, because I'm in conversation.
Do you talk to yourself?
I talk to myself. I talk to God. Yes. I talk to nature. But yeah, I have that conversation, and I know baby steps for me, like I said, is to talk, to speak about it, right? And then in realigning myself with God, now I'm bringing it to Him. And one thing I don't do, I'm very authentic with Him, in the aspect that if I'm upset, I let Him know. I talk to God as if I'm talking to my earthly father. It's not cool. I'm not good with it. Da 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 da. And you said this, because I always make sure, because He says I hold Him accountable because I am supposed to. He said this is what He would do for me, and I put it there to remind Him, this is what you said. And if it's something where I might be a little emotional with it, I let that raw emotion go. I let it flow. And I don't think it's not a way of disrespect because he already knows. So I'm not going to come to him, oh, you know, all meek and mellow when right now I'm a raging bull. And I need you to know I'm this raging bull because I need you to help me to get this bull under control. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, but that's like one of my that's one of my key steps. And for me, that was a baby step at one time. Now it's like just my initial go-to, like, look, I'm putting this on your step. I'm done with
it. Yeah. Everyone is like, I know for like you can have that, like you said, raging bull feeling, and I go back and think about those smaller moments where everything seems going okay for us, but it might not be in other situations. So I'll use my daughter, right, my oldest one. Something's going on with her. Then as a mama, I want to do something, and I have to go have prayer, knowing, Lord, I gotta deal with this feeling because my feelings are ratcheting up. I can't control the situation.
Right.
I can't step in, and I'm saying I can't, but then I'm also saying I need to respect the fact that she set up a boundary.
Right.
I need to respect the fact that even if I don't like the boundary,
right, I honor it.
I have to honor it because she's doing what I need her to do for herself.
Right.
And now I got to deal with my emotions on this because if I go the way my emotions are feeling right now, I'm going to want to step in, possibly create a trust issue between me and her.
Right.
Go spend money when I don't need to spend money because I'm up here trying to gather all the resources to fix the issue that it is not mine to fix.
Right.
I have to trust that you got her too. And like I'm going and I'm having that conversation. Behind my desk there is a picture, and it's the back of Jesus. It is a pathway he's walking. There's a river. He's walking alongside a river, and it says, "I follow wherever you go." Right. That is once I come to what I need to say, what I need to let go of, that I've had that conversation, because I do the conversation like we're